So we have a simple function that reads the text field here, extracts the image URLs so that we can create the thumbnails here for our image carousel widget. So this is the code that we're looking at. It gets passed a jQuery object, applies this jQuery function, uses a jQuery each to create a loop, and we want to modernize it to use modern vanilla JavaScript. So one challenge we have here that's probably common for a lot of software projects is that we want to modernize the code bit by bit, which means that sometimes we need to update a function with jQuery code, converting it to vanilla.js, while other functions may still pass it the jQuery object as a function parameter, which is also the case in here and many other parts of our software. So I'll show here how to address this. So when I just give it the prompt convert jQuery to modern vanilla.js, I always add the keyword modern to prevent it from using the var keyword and use let and const instead. What it will do is return the code we see here. And we can already see in the code comment that the first parameter is now assumed to be a DOM element instead of a jQuery object. So what it will do is access a DOM node property or method on the input variable, which will result in an error because the jQuery object does not have the same properties and methods. So this is actually easy to fix by just giving the AI some context. Yeah, it's a little verbose, but it's just when it comes to giving context, less is more is not really the way to go, it seems. So I'm writing the code you give, return gives the error uncaught promise type error cannot read properties of undefined reading length because the input variable still gets passed as jQuery object. Please update the code to reflect that the input variable is still a jQuery object, while otherwise keeping as much code as possible as vanilla.js. Return the full updated code snippet. So I had to add this in the end because otherwise it would just return nothing. It would just look at my complaint and shrug. And I also added this in an iteration because before I added this while clause, it would convert everything back to jQuery. So yeah, sometimes you need to be a little bit verbose. But the result is that it turned the comment back into recognizing that we are getting past the jQuery variable. It uses the value function to get the DOM node and get its length. And it will use modern.js to loop through the file. And at this point, the code I should verify is working without errors. jQuery code, here is the vanilla.js. And we can see the thumbnails are working again. But if we go back to the first version, yeah, we can see it's not working. So this worked great for this little file. I'm also considering making a video about much larger and more complicated files. So I have a file here where the complication is that it relies on two jQuery plugins. And what I want the ChatGPT to do is to actually find a plugin in vanilla.js and migrate the code here to use the newer plugin. And it actually had done that for me before, but the difficult part is reproducing the same responses from my prompts. So I'm having a really hard time to get get the right results from the same prompts when I'm just repeating them. So that's something that I'm struggling with. But I hope I'll be able to make a new video soon where I actually demonstrate a more complex jQuery to vanilla JS conversion.